You ever noticed how life has this funny way of flipping your plans upside down? You think you've got it all figured out, the job, the relationship, the path, and then out of nowhere, something changes. Doors close, people walk away. What made sense yesterday makes absolutely no sense today. And in that moment, you start asking, why, God? But what if the real question isn't why you didn't change it? What if it's, what are you changing in me? I'm Tony Buonaiuto, and this is the Buonaiuto movement, where we help people from the inside so they can live free on the outside. Helping people help people. And if you've ever had a plan that fell apart, a dream that didn't happen the way you thought it would, you're not alone. Sometimes God doesn't destroy your plan. He just edits it. And if you're patient enough to trust God, it will always work out for you. You realize it's better than anything you could have written yourself. When everything makes sense until all of a sudden it doesn't. See, I used to think success meant control. If I worked harder, planned better, pushed longer, I could make life bend to my will. See, the more I did things, the less things started to take place. Meaning, I would put more of what didn't work into the idea that I wanted to get what I needed. And it didn't work. And for a while, it looked a little bit like it was working. My business was thriving. My schedule was full. On paper, everything made sense. But deep down inside, something didn't feel right. It's like when you're building a house on sand. It looks good for a while until the ground starts to shift and settle. And then, one day, the call stopped. The deals fell apart, and the plan I thought was solid crumbled right under me overnight. My first reaction? Anger. I was angry. I thought God had abandoned me. But looking back now, I can see clearly he wasn't pushing me. He was positioning me. Have you ever been driving somewhere and all of a sudden you hit a detour? You're following your GPS and suddenly that little voice says, recalculating. You're frustrated. The route was working fine. But what you don't see is the road ahead was under construction. That's how God works. When your route suddenly changes, it's not rejection, it's redirection. God will block what looks right just to protect you from what isn't. You see, your perspective is in the windshield, limited, straight ahead. God's perspective is the drone view. It's everything all encompassing. He sees the accident up the road, the closed bridge, the better path you can't see yet. That detour you're cursing might just be saving your life. And here's the spiritual side of surrender. Spiritually, when God changes your plans, he usually is trying to change your heart. We want control. He wants trust. We want clarity. He wants connection. We want results, and he wants relationship. Sometimes he delays the dream to develop the dreamer. And when you finally stop fighting for an old plan and start surrendering, and when you finally stop fighting for that old plan and you start surrendering, peace shows up. Because surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means giving in. It means letting go of how you thought it should go and trusting that God knows what he's doing. The moment I let go, things started moving again. Not because I forced them, but because I finally got out of the way, out of God's way, so his plan could unfold for me. Sometimes God's no is really a not yet. One of the hardest truths I've learned is that God says no, and he means not yet. When I was younger, I prayed for opportunities, and they wouldn't come. I thought he didn't care. But later, when the door finally opened, I realized I was ready. The first time I asked. Sometimes he's not delaying you, he's developing you. He's aligning people, things, and purpose in ways you can't see. Faith is trusting the divine timing, and that it's not delayed timing, it's perfect timing. How to trust and rewrite. If you're in a season where everything feels uncertain, here's what I've learned. First, pause before you panic. Don't fill the silence with fear. Let God finish your sentence. Second, stay faithful in the fog. When you can't see that far ahead, just stay steady in the steps you take. Third, hold plans lightly. The tighter you grip onto your plans, the more it hurts when God pries them open. And last, remember the promise. God's purpose never changes, even when his path does. And when you finally arrive at the destination, you'll realize the detour was the right way. So, if your plans are falling apart, maybe, just maybe, they're falling into place. Sometimes God has to break your plans to build your purpose. Stop fighting the rewrite. Let him author your next chapter. And if this message spoke to you, it hit you, subscribe and join the Buonaiuto movement, because your journey isn't ending, it's just turning. And remember, you're not lost. You're being led.